Hey, what's up? This is Dan from TCDCmedia.com, and I'm hanging out here with Andrew WK.
Hello, Dan. How are you guys? Thank you for having me on your show.
Awesome. How you doing?
I'm well. I'm feeling very, very good. Earlier today, I had some gas. Fortunately, that's passed. And fortunately, I passed it before I came over to see you because we're standing pretty close. And if I let it loose now, that would have not been very pleasant for either of us.
I don't think so, no.
Well, thank you for...
What did you do to clear up the gas? Did you Pepto-Bismol or anything?
No, I just pressed. Basically, you push down. It's sort of like if you're trying to flex your stomach muscles, and it sends a wave of pressure through your abdomen. And I guess it squeezes out your intestines or wherever that wind is, and then it blows out the lower exit. There's two lower exits, I guess, for everybody. This would be the rear exit, and it's just wind. It's just air. There's no solids there. It smells like there are solids, but I assure you it was just pure air. Well, not pure air, just air. Impure air.
Okay.
Anyway, that's how I feel. I feel good now.
That's good. That's really good. How's work for been?
Work tour's been a great pleasure, a great miracle, I would be willing to say. To get to participate on this tour, whether you've done it once, whether you've done it many times, you realize more and more that this is something so unique and special that it is justified calling it a miracle. I would. The amount of effort, the amount of like-minded focus and determination to put this up every day to make this happen, not to mention the audience deciding to come to justify its existence. It is a traveling city, and to be a part of that is really a privilege. You learn so much.
Now, this is your first nationwide tour in 6 years?
I mean, 2005, yeah, I mean, almost 6 years. It's got to be 2004, maybe. I wasn't playing a full tour with my full band since really we officially stopped. I mean, things got crazy. I don't really want to get into it too much. It's a long story, but things got crazy for me in 2005. From then until now, those last 5 years were full of complication, but now there's resolution. And the beauty, there's nothing more satisfying than getting through an ordeal on the other side and being stronger. So now I can play with my full band again. Now I can use the NWK name worldwide. Now I can, do television using the NWK name worldwide. To be able to release music again, and worldwide as NWK. All these things are because we resolve the conflict. And the ordeal, you gotta have faith in the ordeals. Have you ever heard that saying before?
I have not.
Have faith in the ordeals. When life brings you a strange situation that challenges you, have faith that you're meant to go through that, and it's going to only build you up to a bigger person. So we don't want life to be too easy. We want it to be good and challenging and rewarding.
Now, when you're doing touring, you played a show with ICP.
Yes, of
where
course.
Where you kind of...
the cave-in round.
You kind of just messed with the crowd, it seemed like.
Was it my intention to mess with them?
It wasn't you messing with them, but they seemed a little displeased.
You know, I guess you could interpret it however you would like. To me, it was probably one of the most exciting shows
so?
Well, just for me. Did you go?
I didn't go, but there's videos on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, of course. If you were there, I guess, of course, everybody has their own point of view of what happened. The guy who invited me, an amazing man named Kevin, said to him that it was the most, he's been to many gatherings. This is my first gathering that I got to go to. First time playing, of course, as well. But I met ICP back in San Francisco, maybe around 2005, right when things were getting crazy for me. They were extraordinarily nice. Of course, I grew up with them here as they rose to prominence. In Southeast Michigan was always blown away by the independence, the fact that they have built what they built with their fans not only without outside support from traditional entertainment media and show business, they actually had opposition from all those traditional places. People were very against them, and yet they still built something completely unique, completely original in the entertainment landscape. There's never been anything like it before, and they've done it with, again, only opposition, which I'm sure just makes them stronger. So I was always very inspired by them and have looked up to them as role models. I guess the real punk spirit to me, the real DIY, do it yourself, do it on your own terms, do it with you and the people that believe in it, and take it to new heights. It's one of the most successful independent music operations in the entire world, and I'm proud to say that I come from Southeast Michigan, where they came from too. So anyway, that show to me was all these years of excitement to finally get invited to play at that. And then the crowd was just completely insane all day. It was definitely the craziest crowd I'd ever seen in general. They were throwing bottles and starting at 11 a.m. for the very first opening act. And there was all kinds of groups from Psychopathic Records. Afro Man performed. He was incredible guitarist. Actually, I never realized he had that song. Like that high.
I know that one.
He was amazing. I played after him, maybe 2 slots after him, and just the whole thing was an unforgettable, amazing day. I appreciate you asking about it because it's something I think about a lot, but I haven't really thought about it since I got back here to Michigan today. This is where it all started, really.
They're going back to ICP.
Sure.
You were in that video game with them.
Yes, Backyard Wrestling, of course. That's how I met them.
Dude, I played as you.
Oh yeah?
I would be you, and I would just...
Pretty challenging.
I did, yes.
Oh, good. Okay, well,
I'd get a chainsaw, and I would kill people.
The game was definitely a fantasy for me, just to be in a game, but to be in a game with ICP, a game as brutal as Backyard Wrestling, and a game as challenging as that, because the first few levels were, I don't want to say easy, but perfect, and then it gets very, very hard, which is, I guess that's what you want out of a game. You're played a lot, you want it to take some time. But thank you for seeing that, and that, as you said, Backyard Wrestling was how I actually met ICP.
Now, did you actually wrestle?
No, not that day. I was one of the refs in the ring. We did a special event. This is where I met him in San Francisco. In a wrestling ring, they had some of the greatest backyard wrestlers there assembled, and ICP to perform as well as myself. And then we basically I got to be in the ring as sort of a troublemaker and I guess a heel, as they might call it. I didn't actually wrestle or get wrestled because I'm too weak.
Oh.
So it's something I could work on in the future.
You just didn't want to hurt people, is why.
Well, no, I don't think I would have been able to hurt anyone if I had tried.
You don't think so?
Well, maybe if I took a screwdriver and poked into somebody's eye.
Well, that's what backyard wrestling is.
Okay, yeah.
Screwdrivers, chainsaws.
I guess that could work. Yeah, if it's like that, then I always thought it took a lot more power and strength, which I'm very a weaker gentleman. So the weaker gentlemen tend to stay on the outside of the ring and let the stronger, more hardy individuals actually wrestle it out.
So from what I understand, you're a big partier. Party hard, party hard.
Yes, that's what I do every day, all day.
How about you tell us a little bit about partying?
Sure. Well, to me, partying is the best and most direct and most famous word for having fun. You can, of course, say fun or have fun, but to me, party has a lot more energy and a lot more celebratory quality to it as a word. And when I set off on my journey to do it, whatever it is that I'm doing, to be a performer, I wanted to create a feeling of excitement. That was my goal. Not really interested in necessarily expressing my own feelings. Sometimes, I mean, it's not really about me. It's more about creating an energy that as many people can get into as possible, which is just a certain style of music. I love all different kinds of ways, and this is the way I chose. This was the performance style I chose to party, to create a feeling of celebration. And in my opinion, partying is just doing what you enjoy doing. So right now, assuming that you're enjoying doing this interview, assuming that you're happy to be here today, in my opinion, then you are partying. Because there should be no expectation about what someone has to do to party. Meaning, some people might want to drink water at a party, some people might not want to drink anything. Someone might want to drink a lot of booze. They all are partying, as long as they're doing what feels good to them. And as long as we allow them to do what they want, they'll allow us to do what we want. And that to me is celebrating, being glad that you're alive. You don't need to wait for some one-in-a-lifetime moment to celebrate. Just being alive and being in that state of gratitude, being grateful that you're not dead, is a reason to celebrate, and that's something we can do every day. So I'm really convinced that it's a mindset to be maintained and enjoyed at all times, 24/7, 365.
Well, on that note, I think that about wraps it up.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Any party tips that you want to give to the viewers?
Yes, do something and do it all the way, and then when you don't want to do it anymore, do something else.
Awesome. Hey man, it's been fun.
Thank you very much for your questions.